Act as if what you do makes a difference. It does. That is always such an intriguing quote. Yet daily me and possibly you allow the pressure to rise, making it overwhelmingly stressful to take actions for ourselves. Motivation is often approached with the ocean wave metaphor. Motivation comes in waves, ride it while you can. And as cool as that is, demotivation hits like a tsunami, being destructive to our daily life and lasting too long before everything is fixed again. Demotivation hurts me in many ways, but the biggest hurdle for me is with my creative endeavors. Reminding myself every day to work and to stop getting distracted, constantly bickering with my other thoughts, running through my mind, berating my self-esteem from the inside out. It's almost pathetic in a way saying it so casually, but it's the truth, and I've become so self-aware of it, yet can't seem to easily fix it. How come? Well, I see that as the biggest obstacle in demotivation. The fact that realization is prevalent. You would think just knowing you're demotivated would make it easier to motivate yourself, but it somehow makes it more taxing on you. Sitting for literal hours on my computer, staring at my virtual notepad, waiting for Jesus to arrive and bless me with a spark of energy. What makes it even more demanding is the fact that I'm never out of ideas, constantly writing down different videos to do, films to make, random characters I could design, or books to write. It's the most consistent activity in my brain every day. But getting this magical urge to leap into the writing, planning, or etc. feels impossible. Hell, writing this script right now felt like the only way to reverse my demotivation by attacking it and airing out some sort of rant like I'm throwing away trash in a dumpster. I even feel pressure now to exit the notepad tab and go to sleep because I feel like I'm just rambling. But to combat this impossibility my mind creates with these creative endeavors, I would have to gain discipline. But genuinely, how the hell do you even begin to do that? So many voices have preached before. Don't think, just do. Don't stress about it, just take it one step at a time. Even I have spit that out to my friends before since, yeah, it's really true. But when you're constantly yelling at yourself to work harder, yet grinding your teeth at the thought of the first step, it becomes frustrating. And when you have that emotion, it becomes instinctual to just back off. Distract yourself until the next time comes around and repeat the cycle. What I think is revolting about the human brain when it comes to demotivation or laziness, whatever you would like to call it, is when you're in a situation where you are incapable of actually pursuing that creative endeavor and then getting motivated during that time. Let me explain. Have you ever been going to bed or halfway through your work shift or even at school, some situation that you kind of have to be in, and magically you get a craving to go home and work on that book you've always talked about making, or finish the video that you wanted to edit. Damn, I really wish I was at home right now instead of at work. I would totally be working on that book right now. And then you do go home 5 hours later just to find out, well, I'm actually tired, or well, my friends want to hang out. That sounds more fun instead. Giving yourself every reason to ignore your motivation earlier and then choose the easy way out. Knowing later on down the line it's only going to lead to disappointment when you could prevent it any day, right now, by just listening to yourself. It's the weirdest occurrence. I cannot explain why some of us do that, why I do that, but that's where discipline would take off, when the motivation inevitably disappears like it should. Since motivation is this push, it's this leap. The universe is throwing you off of the mountain and it wants you to fly, but instead you let yourself fall. I think a plan of action is to somehow transition discipline you have in other aspects of your life straight into your passions. Video games, for example, I get extremely dedicated to challenge myself with certain games, and sometimes even getting 100% or a platinum for several of them. Batman Arkham Knight, Skyrim, and especially Celeste. All 3 of these games I got the platinums for. I dedicated a solid 30 or so hours into making sure I beat every level in Celeste, getting all the harder missions along with it, the B-side levels, all of the collectible strawberries, basically everything this game had to offer. I felt the need to earn this for myself. So maybe we can transition how I beat that game into how I get real-world projects done. See, Celeste simply teaches you trial and error. Playing Celeste and especially achieving the platinum, for it showed me that when the goal is right in front of you, but an obstacle ahead seems incredibly difficult, it will take a lot of time and energy to overcome it. But I see the possibilities, so I know I will overcome it. That's why Celeste's difficulty is just so amazing. You know where you have to be, you just have to craft your skill to get there, learning from your mistake and trying again from a different angle. Batman Arkham Knight was surprisingly difficult in late game and post game, offering challenges that just seemed unfair and almost ridiculous to attempt. Yet I couldn't make myself quit, I had to do this. There were some horrible trophies for Arkham Knight, and almost all of the bad ones were for the post-game extras or the combo challenges. One combo challenge would ask for specific tedious requirements that would take me hours just to complete that one mission. The weird difficulty made it seem like these trophies were only for extremely dedicated players who knew the intricacies of Batman's movesets, using tech that is easier said than done. But these challenges taught me a level of persistence. I proved I can hit retry over and over again, even though it really seemed useless. I really didn't know if I could complete them at the time, and I felt beyond aggravated every new attempt. I did eventually get it, and not every obstacle is clear, but if you're stubborn enough, you might just push through even when it feels impossible. Or let's talk about Skyrim, which wasn't exactly a hard platinum by any means, but more of this satisfying nostalgia challenge, allowing myself a new look on a game after playing it for 10 years. Getting the platinum for Skyrim, oddly enough, allowed me to lower my standards. Sometimes we get so overwhelmed at these big projects we create that we can't even fully do yet. So going back to Skyrim, a game that I grew up with in middle school, made me take a step down from these other challenging platinums, and that kind of applies to my creativity and even real world businesses as well. We can all become so focused on the bigger and better that sometimes the fundamentals get lost along the way. Our roots, what made us like the passion in the first place. I didn't need to prove myself with this Skyrim platinum, or push myself beyond my limits. I slowed down, I had some classic fun, and I enjoyed the final result that came with it. I gave myself the will to beat these harder games, and I gave myself energy to do so. So if I can one day soon transfer that energy into my videos or anything I want to make, I can become what I've always wanted to be. And I've proven myself in these challenges. I've showed myself I possess this energy. I just have to somehow unleash it. Is this script, this video even, the one that tips me over the edge and makes me fly instead of constantly falling? Time will tell, I guess. I apologize for such a sporadic video, hardly about games, but I hope you either related to some of the things I said and took it as a sign to change, or maybe you just learned a new perspective. Either way, topics like this can be nerve-wracking to talk about, so I thank you for sticking with. Peace and love. I'll see you in the next video.